When the hit 1984 comedy Ghostbusters was adapted into an animated series, a handful of changes were made, including turning the sinister green ghost we all know now as Slimer into the team's pet and sometimes test subject. And this change, it paid off, as the character's popularity quickly grew, eventually becoming the series' mascot, being slapped on countless toys and tie-ins, most notably as the face of Hi-C Ecto-Cooler. Voicing Slimer during the Real Ghostbusters' entire 7-season run was the legendary Frank Welker, who, in addition to the Spud, also played Ray Stantz and some of the series' most well-known baddies, including the nightmare-inducing Boogeyman, my personal favorite, the Sandman, and heck, he even played the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Now, given that Slimer was pushed to the forefront in later seasons, in fact the show was even renamed Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters, it should be apparent that the studio was likely high up on Welker's performance, which in turn has always made his apparent decision not to return for the companion series Extreme Ghostbusters a bit of a head-scratcher, with another acclaimed talent, Billy West, taking over the role. During this past week's Extreme Ghostbusters reunion hosted by the Ship It Show podcast, which if you haven't checked out yet, you have to, we have a link to that full feature down below in this video's description. But yes, as part of that Extreme Ghostbusters reunion, West talked about his reluctancy to take on the role, at first being surprised that Welker had apparently turned it down.
I played Slimer in a show, and they were like, "What do you think? You want to do Slimer?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess, but that's Frank Welker. Well, he doesn't want to do it." And I said, "It's just so strange. Why wouldn't he want to do that? It was the most perfect, beautifully crafted, macabre, humorous character, and and I just thought I just felt like a little drip going in there trying to replicate that." But, they said, "No, we want you to do it." And Frank's not going to do it. So, I just did everything I could to make up for the stuff that I wasn't able to do.
After being told that Welker didn't want to do it, roughly halfway through production of Extreme Ghostbusters, Wes learned that the studio had lied to him, admitting that despite loving the show, the whole ordeal made him feel like a grave robber.
They either turned Frank's request down for money, and it was suddenly I felt like I became my own enemy. I became what I hated the most, as some grave robber, So I'm just being honest, but I did love the show.
After learning the truth, the series, it was still very much in production, with Wes struggling to continue in the role, saying that he was mortified.
I was miffed, and I was between the devil and the deep blue sea, trying to perform as Slimer because they lied to me about Frank not wanting to do it. And like I said, I was mortified.
Again, if you happen to have missed the Ship It Show's Extreme Ghostbusters reunion, we've got that full feature down below in this video's description. With that said, that's all I've got for you for this one. As always, subscribe. If you'd like to join up with Ghostbusters news, check out our Patreon page. A link to that is also down below, and we'll see you right back here next time.